The 62nd Ike Championship, presented by Callaway, makes its way to Century Country Club in Purchase, New York on June 26th and 27th, where 135 of the best amateurs in the Met area will take on the 6,920-yard Colt Allison design in hopes of bringing home the coveted Eisenhower bust.
We're very excited to come back to Century after 2 years off. The last time we were there was in 2015 for the U.S. Open Sectional, and it'll be great to get back there with a lot of the same amateur faces who are the best in the area playing on the course again, and a lot of new guys who haven't played Century for the U.S. Open Sectional before.
Anytime we host an event of this stature and this nature, they're very involved. They can't wait for the competition to start, and is an element that we look forward to.
Century is a big, tough golf course, a wide open property, so big hitters will definitely have some advantage there as you're able to hit a lot of drivers on the long par fours, and there's definitely a lot of scoring opportunities on the par fives. So it'll definitely favor somebody who's accurate off the tee and has a decent amount of yardage.
There is room to drive the ball, and tee to green, you have to be a good ball striker, and it maybe even favors the good ball strikers.
I think length will be a factor. A straight, long ball hitter always has an advantage, but I think particularly here.
Century will play the ultimate host for this year's Ike Championship, and with the recent renovation of the front nine, players can expect even more from the already challenging classic design.
Century has done a lot of work over the last couple of years, so there's been a few significant changes since the last time we were there. They expanded a bunch of their greens on the front nine, restored a bunch of bunkers, so there's a lot of great sight lines, a lot of new looks around the greens, and the course plays very similar, but it adds more setup opportunities for us on the greens.
The new recapturing of certain parts of the greens and new bunkering just has done such a great job to make this course even better. So it's exciting. We're looking forward to it, and I think everybody will really love it.
The start at Century for those players going off the first tee begins with 3 par fours, and they provide good setup opportunities, and especially the third hole, which is roughly a 380-yard par four, playing a little bit uphill. They restored some bunkers in the front, so it's got a great look going uphill a little bit, and then they've added a nice collection area in the back right of the green, affording us a few more hole locations.
The short par fours kind of, in my opinion, define a great classic golf course, and number 3 is one of them. There used to be a very small portion of the back that was semi-flat, and then there were some big mounds directly behind the green, but all those mounds were knocked down, and we made a pinnable area in the back of that green that really makes the hole completely different now.
There's a lot of opportunities to make some changes to yardage, and we plan on having the hole play about 300 yards on the second day, giving players the opportunity to try to go for the green. The 6th hole at Century is one of the tougher par fours on the course and will play to 460 yards on day one. It's a slight dogleg left, playing a little bit up the hill, and it'll definitely be a hole that players are going to look for a par and try to get out of there as quick as possible. With the renovation to the front nine, hole number 9 had some of the most drastic changes that we saw. They regraded the entire green, and it's more of a front-to-back sloped green with a lot more hole locations and gives us a lot of opportunity from a setup standpoint now. So a lot of very good changes from the renovation on the green on hole number 9.
Putting the golf course back in the spirit of Colt and Allison, it doesn't have a ton of movement. It's more flattish with subtle movement in it.
When you get to the back nine, one of the most scenic holes out there is hole number 13, a par 3 over water, which will provide 3 different shots over the 3 rounds for the players. We'll use 3 distinctly different teeing grounds, giving the players a different look during each round. And the way the green sets up, it'll really play to be a different hole each day.
The toughest stretch of holes here is 14 through 17, mainly because they're just a lot of long par fours.
The last 5 holes on the back nine will provide a great finish for the Ike Championship, as we start with 14, a long par 4, a little bit up the hill. 15 is the longest par 5 on the property, and then 16 is another very long par 4 that'll play very tough for the championship. And 17 is a great par 3. It stretches all the way back to 230 yards, so we'll have a few different looks each day, but it'll definitely play very tough, and plenty of players will have to hit hybrids or woods into that green.
Certainly the 18th hole is a great finishing hole.
We always get a good glimpse, and the 18th green, which will be very interesting to watch what goes on there.
Hole number 18 is a great finishing hole, par 4, and the green is extremely tough, so it could definitely make or break around how players are able to navigate that green, especially with their approach shots.
For full coverage of the 62nd Ike Championship presented by Callaway, be sure to check out mgagolf.org and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at MGA 1897.